First at noon, a woman is dead after a devastating fire at a home in Ewa Beach. Casey Lund is at the scene with what we know.
Aloha from Fort Weaver Road. I want to give you some context where we're standing here. James Campbell High School just down that way along Fort Weaver Road, and then the former site of the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center toward the Diamond Head side of me. I want to step out of the way and show you the scene that unfolded throughout the morning and into today. We know that the investigation is ongoing right now. There's no word on what caused this fire. We know that a 93-year-old woman, though, perished in those flames. Unclear exactly if she was the homeowner or was just here. We also know that several other people were impacted by this, some of them with minor injuries. They were asked, excuse me, EMS officials not to transport them, even though enough ambulances had come out to respond to all those folks. Two people, though, did require medical attention off-site, and that means a 32-year-old woman who was taken to the hospital for critical burns, and a woman in her 50s was taken to the hospital for serious injuries. Those other folks had minor injuries, smoke inhalation, things like that. They were treated by EMS on scene. But we want to show you some of the video that came into the newsroom overnight. This all unfolded just after 6:30 yesterday evening. We heard from the HFD captain on scene here, who says they immediately had to start protecting the surrounding structures.
As we arrived, they tried to do a complete 360, but they could not do it because of the exposures. So they went to a defensive mode to protect the structures along the side of it. Oh, and the fire was declared under control at 7:29.
We also heard from Honolulu EMS, who says they responded in force to make sure that they had enough resources to care for everybody that was involved.
The scene was very chaotic. There were a lot of neighbors out on the road. EMS got here trying to figure out who first needed help. It's very rare for EMS to send 6 ambulances to one scene, and that's what we needed to do in this case. We sent 6 ambulances with crews along with 2 supervisors, so that should give you a picture of just how large this fire was and how many people did need help.
Again, there's no word on exactly what caused that fire, and investigators are looking into that. Our thoughts are with those people that were impacted by this yesterday and the first responders that took care of them. Reporting at Ewa Beach, I'm Casey Lund for Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Case. Maui emergency officials are alerting residents of possible smoke impacts from a structure fire in Ha'iku this morning. The blaze sparked on Kauhikoa Road just after 9:30 a.m. MFD said the fire spread to the brush and some trees in the area. The blaze was extinguished just before 11 a.m., but Kauhikoa Road from Kaupakalua Road to Nohea Place remains closed as crews clean up. On Oahu, campus police are looking for the suspect in an alleged sexual assault at UH Manoa earlier this week. Police say a resident reported she was assaulted by an acquaintance after she invited him to her dorm room. She says the suspect is not a university student. Officers believe the suspect could be staying in the residence halls with other students. Anyone with information on the case is asked to contact the university's Department of Public Safety at the number on your screen. Aiea robbery suspects Damian Cabral and Lincoln Kapua are now indicted and being held without bail. A grand jury charged the pair with multiple offenses. The men are accused of holding 2 teens at gun and knife point before stealing their gold chains and other belongings last week at Pearl Ridge Center. Both are due in court for their arraignment on Monday. The man accused of causing the crash that killed a 3-week-old infant and her grandmother on Hawaii Island last week has been formally arrested and charged on Oahu. 43-year-old Kimo Medeiros was being treated for injuries at the Queens Medical Center. Police say Medeiros was driving under the influence when he hit the other car head-on while attempting to pass several vehicles on the Daniel K. Inouye Highway. His bail is set at $1.5 million. And the victims of that crash and others killed on Hawaii Island roads were remembered in a vigil yesterday. Police held a sign waving ahead of the vigil to urge drivers to slow down and drive safely. The day after the deadly Saddle Road crash, police say they cited 7 drivers for excessive speeding on the same roadway. One of them was going more than 100 miles an hour. Another was allegedly intoxicated.
I asked myself, so what's it going to take? What's it going to take to change our behavior on the roadways. The police chief talking about how many tickets we're going to give or how many people we're going to arrest. You know, will that do it? You know, it hasn't so far.
So far this year, Hawaii Island Police issued more than 9,200 speeding citations, about 100 more than it did all of last year. And the recent string of bad crashes has prompted a call for blood donations. The blood bank is down to less than half a day's supply of O-negative blood, which is universal and most used in trauma cases.
And remember, trauma is not a one-time thing. It's not just a one and done. Sometimes they need continued care, and that's on top of other patients in hospital for cancer treatments, planned surgeries, and other medical conditions that require constant care and attention.
Our teams in EMS are working really hard, going to these calls, going to these accidents, but today and this week and moving forward, everybody can partner with us with this life-saving gift.
If you would like to donate, look for more information at bbh.org. We have a travel alert. The Hawaii Department of Transportation says the airport's only runway had to close because of cracks. A project to rehabilitate the runways has been ongoing since the summer. Work is mostly done during the overnight hours, but it opened late earlier this morning before closing again. Officials say the anticipated reopening time of the runway is now 2 p.m. If you have a flight into or out of Kona today, you are asked to check with your airline for the latest information.
How's it on this Thursday? We're looking at the fairly nice conditions out there. There are some clouds upstream. These clouds are embedded with a few showers. We're not going to see a washout until possibly Sunday. That's when a cold front's going to drop in with more clouds, more showers, Sunday, Monday, maybe even Tuesday. Now this morning you can see rainfall is minimal, just a handful of showers coming into windward areas. So it's going to be a beautiful day today, but you will notice the trades will be picking up speed. It's going to be breezy in the afternoon as well.
Thank you, Guy. Happening now, applications are now being accepted for state funding to help families impacted by the ongoing government shutdown. Governor Josh Green is holding a press conference right now about the Hawaii Relief Program. Let's listen in.
Aloha. A lot to get through here. I'm joined by leaders from across our branches of government and the private sector. I'm so grateful to be with everyone. Thank you, LG. Thank you, Senate President, Madam Speaker, team, Joe. Important things to get through today, so I want to basically dive right in. Look, but the top priority that we're addressing today is protecting Hawaii's families during a federal shutdown and ensuring that no one lose access to food, housing, or essential services. People are hurting. We need to make sure as we get into November, December, that we support one another. So first of all, thank you everyone for supporting your neighbors. The federal shutdown has been very hard on people. You've heard about some of the programs. We're going to go through some more details, but we do have a major new program that we're going to announce today. Next slide, please. So we're announcing the Hawaii Food Assistance Program. I'm going to sign an executive order here in about 1 second. Okay, so the Hawaii Food Assistance Program is going to provide $250 of emergency relief payments that will go for food for each eligible individual that has been a beneficiary of SNAP. So if a family of 5 people have been getting SNAP benefits, they will get $1,250 on or before November 14th, maybe a couple days sooner. We're working very hard. Special thanks to our SNAP team, and they've really done, a great job. Thank you, brother. So it's going to cost $42.2 million. I'll break that down a little bit more. Most of that is going to come from monies we already have available to us in the general funds, some from TANF funds. This will help people because we do not have any guarantees right now that the federal government is going to open again this week, next week. We just don't know. And there are a lot of people that are going to be hungry if they don't get their SNAP benefits. So again, a family of 5 would get $1,250. A family of 3 would get $750, and so on. This will help people bridge the gap during this pause in federal SNAP funding. So right now I'm signing Executive Order 2509 to help our families who are most vulnerable. So that is going to do a couple things. Just so people know, there's 161,400 people who receive SNAP benefits in Hawaii every month. That includes 27,910 families and 62,647 children. It's devastating. We are losing $57 million a month of SNAP benefits with this shutdown. So we needed to get people some coverage and some guarantees. Even if the federal government gets their act together and somehow resolves their differences, we're going forward with this because people are really hurting, and it's been a tough couple months. So that's very important. That is new. Let's go to the next slide. We also, as a part of this executive order, are supporting this overarching relief program. We're calling it the Hawaii Relief Program. So we came to the conclusion that TANF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Family dollars, is available to those who are struggling. So I've authorized $100 million to go over the course of the next 4 months to families to help them with housing or their utilities, which could be their electric or their water. So if someone qualifies, and we're going to talk about how you qualify, then they will be able to offset a lot of their monthly costs so they don't get displaced, don't lose their housing. They can still pay their mortgage. Again, there's been a lot of uncertainty across our economy. This is important to mention. We have $400 million in the TANF program. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Trista. You know, incredible work. So we have monies, and this will help a lot of people. We've contracted quickly with Catholic Charities Hawaii and Maui Economic Opportunity to administer this program. When people have questions, they're going to call 211, and they're going to get extra answers. I'm going to give you more answers right now. Next slide. To qualify, again, call 211. We have a lot of people. Was it 250 people that are going to be working the lines, I heard? A large number of people. There's already people calling in. There's going to be a lot of volunteers. Be patient, but you're going to get the details now. To meet the income limits, to qualify for this, up to $6,000 per month to offset rent, up to $2,000 to offset electric, for example. If you are a family of 4 and making less than, it's 300% of federal poverty. If you're making less than $110,940 or $9,245, that family of 4, they would qualify. If you've been furloughed, if someone lost their job recently, and that will help you pay your rent so that you can afford your food until that gets sorted. And you can see it goes up as you have a larger family. It goes up $18,990 for each additional family member if you have some gigantic family. Okay, so that is a very important part of what we're doing.
And we're going to have more on this press conference coming up on later editions of Hawaii News Now. Meanwhile, the government shutdown now in its 30th day. Erica Brown has more details from Capitol Hill.
In this Denver neighborhood, Urja Padel's Holly Market is one of the few places local families buy groceries.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
More than 70% of Padel's customers use SNAP benefits to purchase food.
We can survive this month. I mean, barely, thankfully. I'm worried about everybody else feeding their kids, feeding themselves.
Colorado is one of more than 24 states suing the Trump administration to use emergency funds authorized by Congress to keep the SNAP program running during the government shutdown. Both sides were in court Thursday.
The money's there, over $6 billion in emergency funds that could keep SNAP going, and Trump has said don't spend a dime.
Republicans are pushing Senate Democrats to support a short-term spending bill that would immediately reopen the government, but the measure has failed to advance 13 times.
The Democrats are ready to continue this shutdown, I guess forever.
Both Republicans and Democrats say there are some talks underway among rank-and-file senators to find a way to end the shutdown and avoid lapses in benefits for the most vulnerable Americans.
We're seeing more discussions. Some of the Democrats I talked to are exasperated themselves and see no real benefit politically or otherwise.
The talks will go nowhere if Republicans remain completely intransigent and resistant to any compromise on extending the health care coverage.
Democrats continue to insist any deal must include an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies to keep health care premiums affordable. Those premiums are set to increase Saturday when open enrollment begins for the Affordable Care Act. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Ahead on This Is Now, a plea for respect after reports of lewd activity in a sacred Maui valley. Plus, British Royal Prince Andrew is stripped of his title and privileges for his ties to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. We'll be right back. Prince no more. King Charles officially stripped Prince Andrew of his royal titles. He will also be evicted from royal property. Now, this comes after the release of a posthumous memoir by Jeffrey Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre, which detailed new allegations about Andrew. Andrew has long denied accusations made by Giuffre, who died by suicide back in April. He will now go by Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Now to reports of nudists and sexual activity on the edge of a state park on Maui. Chelsea Davis spoke with witnesses who say their children should not be exposed to this.
This is all guava. Shantia Kolia's parents used to bring her to Eel Valley when she was a kid.
We used to jump off right here too on that.
Now it's her turn to take her 9 children to this special place.
When life throws many obstacles at me, I like to come here and cleanse. I feel like when I take a dip into fresh, cold water, it just releases so much tension and heva.
But a week and a half ago, with her 17-year-old and 3-year-old daughters, those feelings of peace were replaced by shock.
We encountered a couple who were having intercourse.
Nudity is not permitted at the state monument, and having intercourse anywhere in public in Hawaii is a crime. Kolia wants people to know this area is sacred and should be treated with respect.
There's a time and a place for everything, and this wasn't the time or the place for that kind of things, especially because we have so many keiki and ohana that come here. And, you know, we travel from the bottom to the top, you know, and it shouldn't be something kids should be exposed to.
If you go down there right now, they're probably there.
Alika Seki had 2 separate encounters this past summer and about a month ago.
And they could see us with our children, and they could see that we're looking at them, pointing at them, and they're disrobing right there.
He and his friend were with their children when they saw about a dozen nudists. We checked the same area and only saw clothed people, but it was overcast with light rain. The Department of Land and Natural Resources told us there's no established nudist community within Eel Valley State Monument. But state officials did say they've heard from visitors that individuals may be gathering to engage in nudity approximately 100 yards downstream from Eel Valley State Monument. They said that area is outside outside of DLNR's jurisdiction and is property of the Wailuku Water Company. Wailuku Water Company President Avery Chumbley said he had no knowledge of this behavior, but is asking people to contact him so he can report it.
It hurts, you know, to see that happening in your own land.
It's obviously wrong to be exposing yourself to children, and you can't, there is just no justification for that.
Reporting in Ewa Valley, I'm Chelsea Davis for Hawaii News Now.
Well, let's take a live look outside with our tower cam looking at Honolulu Harbor. It is a beautiful day on this Aloha Thursday. Guy's going to be back with your full forecast and what you can expect for the Halloween evening trick-or-treating festivities coming up.
First Alert Weather with Guy Hug.
How's it on this Thursday? We've got really nice conditions for the next few days. That does mean some scattered showers coming into windward neighborhoods. You see these clouds upstream right here. They're embedded with a few showers, but significant rainfall not expected, at least until Sunday. On Sunday, probably through Tuesday, we've got a cold front dropping in with more clouds and more showers. So again, get ready for more rainfall Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But you can see this morning, there's not a lot, right? Just a handful of light showers for just a few windward spots. And whatever rain comes in will be moving out very quickly because the trade wind's already picking up speed. They're going to run pretty brisk and breezy for the next few days going into the weekend. So Thursday's going to look a lot like Wednesday, except for stronger winds coming in. And this is the picture that we'll likely see through Saturday with a few showers in the early morning and overnight. And in the middle part of the day, we'll see lots of sunshine and those winds running pretty brisk, 15 to 20 miles an hour. As far as the surf, it's on the way down. The current swell peaked yesterday. Still going to be pretty good size with some overhead sets up in the country. West side is going to be pretty small, dropping out. But we've got significant swells coming Friday and Saturday. High surf advisory is likely posted for north and west shores over the weekend, so get ready for that. So the weather's going to be pretty nice for Halloween. It might be a little bit windy, and if you're on the windward side, you might see a few passing showers, but significant rainfall not expected. However, we're highlighting in red Sunday and Monday. Your first alert is for the increasing clouds and showers coming in Sunday and Monday from a weak cold front. And then by Tuesday, those showers should ease up with more sunshine moving in.
Halloween, do you believe in magic? If so, how much would you pay for it? Online and across the country, people are becoming spellbound with buying spells. Gwen Baumgartner reports.
Something peculiar is brewing online.
I hired an Etsy witch and it 100% worked.
The world of magic is becoming less abracadabra and more add to cart.
Thank you for your order.
In droves, people are sending money to witches to cast a spell. From removing rain on your wedding day to finding love for $3, or maybe conjuring up a championship.
I was just kind of hoping for the best.
Stephen Blackburn posted this in early September about paying a witch on the website Etsy to uncurse the Mariners, paying $16 ahead of a truly charmed season, with the Seattle team earning a divisional championship. Would you identify as a witch?
Yeah, I can identify as a witch.
Vicki Adams owns Pan's Apotheca, a supernatural store in LA.
Spellwork is a great catalyst. It's like hope, which is what a lot of people need these days.
Magic is a lucrative business, says Adams, always around Halloween, though especially in recent months.
This one is like one of the unhexing ones.
But she issues this warning.
Be careful, because there are scammers in every industry. I always recommend find someone who's well vetted, who has amazing reviews.
Whether you see spell buying as believable or bogus, it sure gave Blackburn a reason to believe.
The Etsy witch is real.
Yeah, it's just like the magic in all of us, really.
And maybe that extra bit of hope is the real magic trick. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
If anyone out there has a vetted spell maker, please let us know. Thanks for watching. This is Now Everybody. More news first at 4 right here on KHNL. Aloha.